What does the future hold for Iran after the death of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei? This is a question that has been echoing around the world, and for a good reason. Khamenei's rule spanned nearly 4 decades, a period marked by a fervent preservation of the Islamic Revolution's ideology. Khamenei was a force to be reckoned with. His anti-American and anti-Israel sentiments were well known, shaping Iran's foreign policy significantly. From the outset, Khamenei faced a daunting task. He was handed the baton by Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini after the Islamic Revolution in 1979. Despite lacking clerical legitimacy, Khamenei managed to consolidate power, marginalizing elected officials and leveraging the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps to maintain his rule. His tenure was marked by insularity and a tendency for micromanagement that touched every aspect of Iranian citizens' lives. Dissent was met with brutal suppression, a testament to the lengths Khamenei would go to keep his grip on power. Now, with his sudden death, Iran is left with a gaping power vacuum. The country stands at a crossroads, with the future of the Iranian regime hanging in the balance. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, once a tool in Khamenei's hands, could now play a pivotal role in determining the country's future. Power struggles are inevitable in such a scenario, as various factions within Iran jockey for control. The demise of Khamenei also raises questions about the future of Iran's relations with the United States and Israel. Will the conflict continue, or will his death pave the way for a new era of diplomacy? These questions remain unanswered, adding to the uncertainty that shrouds Iran's future. The demise of Khamenei leaves a gaping power vacuum in Iran, setting the stage for a potentially turbulent transition. As the world watches closely, the next chapter in Iran's history is about to be written. Now let's delve into the possible scenarios that might unfold in Iran. First up, there's the possibility of a seamless transition of power. This could see another hardline leader taking the reins, continuing Khamenei's policies and maintaining the status quo. Under this scenario, Iran's domestic policies would likely remain unchanged, as would its fraught relations with the United States and Israel. However, there's also the potential for a more democratic shift. If reformists manage to gain control, we could see a softening of Iran's stance on key issues. This could lead to less censorship, more personal freedoms for citizens, and a potential thaw in relations with the West. But it's worth noting that any significant policy changes would likely be met with resistance from hardliners, making this route a potentially rocky one. Another possible outcome is civil unrest. Khamenei's death could serve as a catalyst for societal upheaval, leading to widespread protests and potential clashes between different factions within the country. This could result in a significant shift in Iran's domestic policies and its relations with other nations. Although the direction of such changes would be hard to predict, there's also the chance of an external intervention. With Iran in a vulnerable state, other nations might try to exert influence over the transition of power. This could lead to a power struggle, not just within Iran, but also on the international stage. Lastly, we could see a combination of these scenarios. History has taught us that political transitions are rarely straightforward, and the outcome in Iran could well be a complex blend of these possibilities, each influencing the other. The future of Iran hangs in the balance, with outcomes ranging from continuity of the status quo to significant political upheaval. While it's difficult to predict exactly what will happen, one thing is clear: the death of Khamenei marks a pivotal moment in Iran's history, and the ramifications of his passing will be felt far beyond the country's borders. As we turn our gaze outward, how might Khamenei's death impact the global stage? The ripples of Khamenei's passing will be felt far beyond Iran's borders. The Supreme Leader's anti-American and anti-Israel sentiments were not just personal beliefs, but a cornerstone of Iran's foreign policy. His death could lead to a significant shift in this policy, depending on the ideologies of his successor. The United States and Israel, long-standing adversaries of Iran, might find this to be a turning point in their relations with the country. The possibility of de-escalation, or even diplomatic engagement, cannot be entirely ruled out. This could have major implications for the region's security landscape. Khamenei's death might also influence the ongoing nuclear negotiations. The Supreme Leader was a staunch advocate for Iran's nuclear program, often putting him at odds with the international community. His successor could potentially adopt a more conciliatory stance, paving the way for progress in these fraught negotiations. The broader Middle East region will also be closely watching the developments in Iran. The country's influence extends to several conflict zones, including Yemen and Syria. A change in Iran's stance could alter the dynamics in these regions, affecting the balance of power and possibly bringing new opportunities for peace. However, it is crucial to remember that these are potential scenarios, not certainties. Iran's future course will depend on a multitude of factors, including the identity of Khamenei's successor and the internal dynamics of the country's political landscape. Khamenei's passing could be a game-changer not just for Iran, but for the geopolitical dynamics of the entire Middle East. In conclusion, the death of Supreme Leader Khamenei marks a turning point in Iran's history. The seismic shockwaves of his passing reverberate through the nation, stirring uncertainty and potential conflict. We've delved into the possible outcomes and the various global repercussions that may follow. It's clear that Iran's future, its relationship with the United States and Israel, and the trajectory of the regime are all in flux. As we watch the events unfold, one thing is certain. Iran stands at a crossroads, and the path it chooses will have profound implications for the world.